Good morning. Make sure that is mute. Do I even need these headphones for the stream? I do not, but I'm gonna keep them on just because. Let's see. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let me pop up this. Hey, thank you. Hey, Toby, what's up? Appreciate you. Happy birthday to me today. One of those days. It's one of those days. What you guys been up to? I'm curious. It's been a while. Been a minute. Oh, it's been a minute. Oh, man. I got a call from, thank you, Eric, thank you. I got a call from some folks about going out. I was like, you know what? Let me do it. I was supposed to do a stream yesterday. It did not happen. So I know what? I'll do one today in the morning. That's when it was supposed to be. Oh, yours is tomorrow. That's awesome. By the way, by yours I mean this person here. Her birthday is tomorrow. Awesome. Or his or her birthday. I'm not sure. I'm not going to assume. That's great. Yeah, I was going to have a stream yesterday, but things happened, so I ended up having to do it today. I almost didn't do it, but I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I did a stream. Let me bust it out now. So that's how it's been. What's up? I was going to I watched the 3 shows I was going to watch, because I've been doing the series where I've been watching shows I've never seen before and reviewing the first episode. I was going to watch. It was between Skull Island. What was the other one? Oh my goodness gracious! I already forgot the name of the other freaking show. It was Skull Island, My Adventures with Superman, and another one. What was the other one called? Cannot remember. Skull Island, My Adventures with Superman, and something else. It did not happen. I only ended up watching Skull Island because on Netflix it was easy to access, and I had to go do any searching. So I've seen Skull Island first episode. I've not seen anything else since the last stream. Thank you, Ryan Carson. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. You've been watching what? I've been watching. I'm not going to try to say that word. Birthday fruitcake. My mind is dazed. Can't really think right now. So I've seen Skull Island, first episode. It's on Netflix. I'll be talking about that today. Do you think... I'm looking at your comment now. Birthday fruitcake. Does media just champion a lot of a-holes? I think yes and yes. Yes and yes. Both. There are a lot of a-holes, and there is a problem. Do you agree or disagree? Let me actually analyze your question here. Against men. Give me an example. Give me an example of the show you're referencing. Give me a concrete example of what you're talking about, where you think there's been contempt against us dudes in fiction. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. We have this stream been going off a little bit. Let me start talking about the topic at hand. So I was going to talk about two things. I was going to talk about uh, Skull Island. I was going to talk about the state of Marvel, but I think I'll split those streams up. So I figured I'd just talk about Skull Island in this stream, and I'll talk about the state of Marvel in another one. All right, so let's start talking about Skull Island here. I already got some pictures up here and everything. Let's start with my overall thoughts on this freaking show. Skull Island, Netflix, animation. Episode 1 was all right. I would say the tone was kind of playful, fun. They have some well-developed characters, I think. Characters that are somewhat interesting, somewhat fun. There's some ridiculousness going on here. There's some foolishness going on, I believe. But ultimately, I think it was a decent start. You have the setup was fine. It's kind of hard to do an overall thought. Let me just tell you what happened in this freaking show. Let's just do that in episode 1 at least. Skull Island. So we start off with this chick named Annie. Annie's running. Yes, Secret Invasion was awful. Don't get me started on that because I might actually have a long ass rant about that here in a second. So we start off with Annie running. She's running. Why she's running? We don't know why. She's just running. She's running away from these folks on this boat. She's trying to escape, and we don't have any context. It's a cold open, and she escapes off of the boat after she comically burns the boat by throwing like a lighter on some gasoline on the boat. Blows up. She jumps off to another boat, and she takes off into the night. And that's how the episode opens, with this random woman running away. We don't know why. We don't know what's going on. Then we get the title screen. Then we cut to these two folks, which is, what's his name? Cap was the dude's name. And Charlie? I don't want to look it up. I want to look at it. It's Charlie, right? Yep. Charlie and Cap. And they're having this father-son conversation about moving on and being his own man and not following in his father's footsteps. He wants to go live a normal life because it turns out that these two are explorers and discoverers, and they travel at sea to go find different creatures, and they've been failing. They haven't found anything, but they're chasing these creatures out there, and they're hoping to find it. They haven't found one yet, and this kid's like, dude, Dad, I'm tired of this, man. I want to go live a normal life. I want to go have friends and go to college. And Dad's like, college? That's going to bring you debt. College is boring. You live an amazing life. Why would you want to do college? So the dad is telling him that, dude, your life is exciting. Why do you want to go do college? Stay here and be an explorer. And he's like, Dad, I don't want to do that crap. It's boring. That's basically the setup here. He wants to go about his own way, find his own path, meet new people, and his dad's like, what do you mean? Follow my footsteps. This is great. We're explorers. We're chasing God knows what in the sea, right? So the dad's not really taking him seriously. He's like, Dad, you can think about it later. I got things to go talk about, son. I don't believe they really want to go to college, so whatever. That's kind of the vibe his dad is on. The kid's like, Dad, I want to get out of here. So that's the setup for these characters, which I thought was well done, executed for the most part. Then we have Mike here. Mike is Charlie's friend, and Mike is all about that life out in the sea. He wants to stay out there and explore like the rest of them. But Charlie's not vibing with that. But Mike wants to follow in his father's footsteps. Well, actually, Mike has another dad. Another dad, obviously. They're not brothers, all right? Mike's dad is also there. I don't remember his name, but his name's not that important. You'll see why in a second. But Mike is hanging out with Charlie. Mike's all about that life out to sea. He doesn't want to go to college. He doesn't care about girls, you know. Mike is all about that life. And Charlie, he's not buying it. Charlie wants to go home or wherever home is. He wants to leave and go have a normal life and not do this thing for forever, which is chasing after these mystical creatures that no one has found or seen yet. So Charlie then stumbles upon this chick that was running away in the beginning of the episode. He was making noise out. She was making noise out in the sea, and he's like, "Oh wait, let me see what's going on out there." And he saw her drifting off in the water. We don't know how she got there. What the hell happened to her boat? We don't know. So Charlie's like, "You jump down there and save this girl," and she's like, "Where's my dog?" I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? Your dog? You didn't have a dog in the beginning of the episode." So maybe she's just delirious. Maybe she's just out of her mind. Like, why are you asking about your dog? You didn't have your dog in the cold open. So why would you be asking about your dog? Like, whatever. She's probably just crazy. She's lost it. She's out of it. She's probably dehydrated. She's tired. She's floating out in the sea. She's knocked out. Who knows what's going on? She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about right now. She's like, "Where's my dog?" I'm like, "What dog are you talking about?" Anyway. So of course Charlie's like, "Dog? What the hell are you talking about? I don't see any dog. She's probably dead if you had a dog, right?" She's floating out in the sea. So they pull her up onto the boat, and she's unconscious. And Mike, they establish right away that Mike is a strong kid. Cause Mike says Charlie tried to pick her up and move her to the inside, but he couldn't. He was too weak. And then Mike comes into it. So they're saying, "Oh, Mike is the capable guy. He's the strong guy." That's the characterization here. Like, he's strong kid. He can pick her up easy. Charlie was struggling. So to go out of the way to show that. And then she wakes up, and obviously she's spooked. She's like, "What the hell's going on? What the hell are all these dudes around me? There's not a female in sight. What's going on here? Like, where am I?" They're like, "Oh, you're in good hands. We found you out in the sea. We trying to help you. You don't need to be afraid." And she's like, "I don't know what the hell you guys are." You know, she's like, "Stay away from me." She has no idea what. She doesn't know about pop culture. She doesn't know anything beyond what I assume what she learned on whatever remote island she's from. She hasn't interacted with a lot of people. She doesn't know what things are. She has no idea what coffee is. She's like, "What's coffee?" They offer her some coffee. She drinks it. She spits it out. She has no idea what the hell it is. So this woman has been wherever she's been, which is, we believe, Skull Island. She's been there for a hot minute. She has been off that island for God knows how long. She doesn't know anything about the real world. So that is the setup there. Move on. We're moving on. So Charlie's like trying to talk to this girl, and what happens here? He started telling her about what they're doing. Like, oh, they're looking for monsters and whatever. They're looking for sea creatures, and he tells her that they've been setting off charges out in the ocean. He's like, "What are you, a dumbass? Why are you setting off charges in the ocean? You're just going to bring about these monsters to come attack you. Like, the same monster that attacked me is going to come here because you guys are setting off charges in the ocean." This kind of make I don't know what kind of I'm curious to know what kind of creatures they were looking for, because if they knew there were these massive creatures out there setting off charges in the water, kind of dumb, kind of stupid, kind of like what. F around and find out, you know? Like, why would you be out there setting off charges unless you were ready to deal with the consequences of some kind of type of creature attacking your boat? I don't know what they believe is out there for sure. I just know that they're looking for monsters or sea creatures. I would assume they wouldn't be dumb enough to believe that there's a massive sea creature out there that could take down the boat. Because if that was the case, why the hell are you... I mean, if you look at this boat, there's no real defenses for this boat. Like, they're screwed. They're screwed if something attacks that thing. So the people that were chasing her are still chasing her, and they jump on the boat, and she takes them out like nothing, because they're a bunch of losers, apparently. She takes them out, and they're chasing her. We still don't know why they want her, per se. We're going to find that out later, I assume. Then the creature that attacked her boat, we assume, then attacks their boat, the boat that she's on now. And this creature is a problem. I mean, he has tentacles out the wazoo, strong. I mean, somehow it can freaking see underneath the water because the tentacles are following around. Like I don't know how he's sensing people, but tentacles are grabbing everybody, and people are getting getting killed, which I respect for the first episode. Like they're showing people getting killed, it's showing people getting got out here in these streets. So I was impressed at the fact that people were actually dying. But yeah, it was a interesting scenario where this thing comes out of nowhere and starts killing folks. Maybe she's a prisoner in some sort of conflict. The way that the vibe that I was getting from the interaction between the people chasing her was not really so much of she's dangerous, or it's almost like, we're trying to bring her in for her own good kind of vibe. It was weird. It wasn't like a super antagonistic tone or vibe the people that chasing her had. It's more like, I don't know. I'm interested to find out because even the guy who she knocked out, he woke back up. He wasn't that like, he's kind of saying, guys, we got to come and leave here or we're all going to die kind of vibe. So I'm curious to know their story. Assuming I'm going to watch. Who knows? I'm going to continue watching. I don't know. So then Mike's father gets killed, which I was surprised to see. He gets killed by the sea creature. And I was actually taken aback. Like, they're actually killing folks out in that first episode. Like, I was impressed by that. Okay, I like the vibe of the show and the tone of that. So then, this is a comical moment. The whole time, Annie has the freaking handcuffs on her wrist. And then she breaks it by using the spear. Like, I don't know what material that spear is made of. I don't know what that... Maybe that freaking handcuffs were made of wood or whatever, but that shouldn't happen. She by using her own strength, she snaps the freaking handcuffs off with a spear. I don't know how that works, but I thought it was funny. But yeah, it's animation, cartoons. It's a cartoon, right? So then Mike gets freaking blasted with electricity. I'm like, Mike has to be dead, right? The freaking creature zaps the hell out of this kid. Oh, well, he's dead. I'm like, wow, another one's dead. Wow, killed off Mike. And then Charlie jumped after him. Then Cap, which is Charlie's father, jumps after him. And then this thing is taking down the whole entire freaking ship. Like, again, I don't know what they thought they were getting themselves into, but if they thought that they could deal with these type of creatures, they were sadly mistaken. So I'm curious to know just what they thought was out there, because I'm kind of having a hard time understanding what they thought was going to happen. If they were to someday run into one of these sea creatures, like, well, what do you think was going to happen? Like, I don't know what they thought was out there. I guess we'll find out later. So this was a nice shot. So you see the ship sinking into the water, and Cap's here got the net over him, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's sinking. He thinks he's going to die. And then Charlie, for whatever reason, Annie, for whatever reason, saves good old Charlie. Not Charlie. Saves Charlie's dad. Why? She's just a good person. She saved him. Cool. She's a good person. We know that now. She didn't have to save him. She just met the man. She didn't know nothing about him. She could have just went to her island and been that could be the end of it. But she took the time to save him. So that speaks to her character, right? And then Mike, who got zapped and thrown off the boat, is completely fine. He's crying on the beach because a beach of Skull Island, I would assume is Skull Island, a place they didn't know existed. I guess I don't know. Well, I don't know if they knew that place existed. I would say guess not. But Mike here is crying after getting zapped and thrown off the freaking boat. So Mike's superhuman apparently, but he's crying. And then the episode ends with this shot. It was a good shot, by the way. It ends with Charlie and Mike sitting in the palm print or the footprint or one or the other of I would believe to be King Kong or Kong, however you want to call it, and that is how the episode ends. Overall, I would say that the episode was fine. Do I want to see what's going on Kong Island? Sure. Do I want to see what is going on with Annie's, what's Annie's story? Kinda, yeah, sure. Do I like some of the characters? I do. I think Charlie's a good character. I like Mike for the most part. Cap is all right. So only 4 people. Apparently, only 4 people survived. It was Annie, Charlie, Mike, and Cap. Cap is Charlie's dad. That's it. It was fine. It's not the best thing I've seen. It wasn't bad. The writing I thought was solid. Kind of take everything seriously. No, it's a cartoon, so some of the stuff I have to what's the word I'm looking for? What am I looking for when I have to? I can't think of the actual phrase I'm thinking about, but I have to accept what they're putting forth, and as unrealistic as some of the things are, it's cartoon, it's animation. That's the vibe they're going for. Annie's a badass apparently, which is cool. Mike is super strong for a kid. Charlie's I think the protagonist. We'll see how that goes. And Cap is he kind of just there. I don't really care about Cap too much at all. Will I continue watching this show? If I have to, maybe. If I have to take this long, then probably not. I may get around to it. But I'm not in any rush. I think it's fine. Oh, thank you, AJ Studios. I appreciate that. I think it's fine. I wouldn't rush out to watch it. Episode 2 anytime soon, but I do want to watch episode 2, so I can say that. But I don't know. It's just okay. I wonder what's everybody talking about with the Superman show. I'm curious to watch that because I see a lot of discourse online about that show, that new animated Superman show called what's it called? My Adventures with Superman, which has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, even though it's just only 15 reviews. So I'm going to probably watch that next. We'll see. What do you guys keep talking about? What about Miss Andry are you guys discussing? I seem to be a topic in the chat right now. Yeah, Secret Invasion was trash. All right, let me matter of fact, how long has the stream been going? The stream hasn't been going that long, and I've already done talking about freaking. I just saw Clark Kent blushing in the thumbnail of episode 1. That's it. Oh, okay, you're talking about My Adventures with Superman. How long has the stream been going? The stream hasn't been going that long. I ran that was actually quicker than I thought it was gonna be. I guess it's only a 20-minute episode, right? So it goes by pretty quick. She's only been going for 24 minutes. All right, let's talk about Marvel. I was going to hold off, but let's talk about Marvel. The state of Marvel right now. Oh, boy. Okay. So, Marvel, you won't find a bigger fan than me. I freaking love Marvel. I think it's great. It was going very well through the first 3 phases. I thought phase 4 was started off well with WandaVision and Loki and things of that nature. I thought the addition of superhero shows was a good idea. and I thought Disney Plus was going to accelerate storytelling and make it more rich and fulfilling. But it's gotten to the point where I can no longer deny the situation. The Marvel quality has dropped. It has. It has for a little bit now. And with Secret Invasion was the last straw. Secret Invasion was such a massive disappointment that I can't. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I can't justify. I can't justify it anymore. There were some. Now, I'm not one of the people who think everything was bad. Like, WandaVision was good. Loki was good. I thought Moon Knight was solid. I thought most of these shows were solid. I thought it was solid to good. The only one that I did not enjoy was She-Hulk and Secret Invasion. The problem with Secret Invasion was it had such a great cast, and for them to fumble the writing that bad, it's unforgivable. Like the finale of Secret Invasion is legitimately bad. It's like legitimately bad. I can't justify it. I can't excuse it. I mean, you have a situation where you have to watch it to know what I'm talking about. You have scenes where they make Emilia Clarke, spoilers by the way, spoilers for Secret Invasion, if you care. They made Gaia, aka Emilia Clarke, a super Skrull, in the sense that she has everyone's power, and they the director came out there. That you're exactly right. That's the phrase I was looking for. Suspend disbelief. You're correct. That was it. I could not find it for save my life, and you did it for me. Thank you so much. The director came out and said, "Oh, by the way, in fact, let me share my Microsoft Edge. In fact, no, I won't do that." The director came out and said, "Oh, by the way, it was Kevin Feige's idea to do the whole Skrull fight." I'm like, really? Gonna throw Kevin Feige under the bus like that? If that's his idea, then he messed around and he screwed up. Like, you have Gaia, who's a super Skrull now. She has all the powers of everyone. I'm like, why would you make that decision? So she's not the most powerful character in all of MCU, unless they're gonna say, oh, she doesn't actually have all of the. Like, she can use everyone's power, but she doesn't have like the max power level of all those superheroes. Sure, fine, but she's still super OP now that she has all these powers. Thank you so much. And I'm like, they have this scene where Gravik is talking to Nick Fury, and it's this passionate scene, and then you find out that it wasn't actually Nick Fury; it was Gaia shape-shifting into Nick Fury. Well, then why would you? So that scene meant nothing because it wasn't the actual Nick Fury. So you think there's this big confrontation, this big emotional scene between two characters, and you find out one of the characters wasn't the actual person. It was a Skrull shape-shifted into that person. So that moment meant nothing because it wasn't the actual Nick Fury. And this stupid writing decisions like that, left and right, to the point where I'm like, what is going on in that studio? Secret Invasion was a disappointment. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was a disappointment. I liked elements of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I liked elements of that. I liked the horror film elements. I liked some of the. It's fun. I think it's a fun show. I think it's a fun movie. But the writing for that show didn't end well. That movie didn't end well. Wanda's character arc, I agree, is not the best written there. It's just, don't get me started on freaking what's it? Thor, Love and Thunder, not good. Captain Marvel. Thank you. Captain Marvel made the Skrulls innocent refugees, and they tried to adapt the storyline where the Skrulls are unequivocally bad guys, and trying to marry these incompatible ideas turned out bad. I don't even think. Thanks for the comment, Ryan. I don't even think that was the problem. It's just there's nuance, right? There's innocent people, there's bad people, there's innocent Skrulls, there's bad Skrulls. That's fine. Like that's with any race of intelligent beings, you're gonna have good people and bad people. That's fine. The problem was the writing wasn't good. Like the conclusion of the storylines wasn't good. You have a situation where freaking Rhodey is a Skrull, and there's so many ways they could have outed Rhodey, but they chose not to expose him as a Skrull. I don't know why they didn't. Like at the end, they shoot him. The person's like, "Oh, it's a Skrull." Yeah, you could have done that earlier in the series. You could have shot him. He would have reverted back to a Skrull, and then that would have been the evidence you needed. They made it this dramatic scene like, "You can't kill me." Like, why can't you kill him? Like, why can't you kill him and expose him as a Skrull? It didn't make any sense. Like so much. Like I'm like the biggest Marvel apologist. Happy birthday, Vex. I have work soon, so I can't stay, but I will follow your channel for years now. So I want to check your videos and stuff. Stuff are awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. So nice. They tried to make the Skrulls sympathetic bad guys as they planned to essentially genocide humanity. Victims of Kree genocide decided to genocide another species because they think that we suck. Well, the reason why Gravik the radical wanted to take out all the humans was because Nick Fury. He's mad at Nick Fury because Nick Fury made a promise to him to find them a home, and he didn't. He felt that Nick Fury exploited the Skrulls, which is a legitimate critique of Nick Fury that they don't address. Nick Fury gets off scot-free. He said he's going to find them a home. He didn't. He said that he's going to, if they came together and helped him protect the Earth, he would find them a home. He did not do that. Period. Then when he came back from the blip, he effed off to the freaking Saber ship. Nick Fury needed to answer for his mistakes, and he never answered for it. They had a stupid scene at the end where we think Gravik is talking to Nick Fury, but instead he's actually talking to freaking Emilia Clarke's Gaia character. And we're like, why did you make that decision? So Nick Fury just gets off scot-free. He just leaves. All right, well, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Oh, well, peace out. Deuces. Doesn't make any sense. Like, what is going on with this story? Like, Nick Fury, all he ends up doing is killing Rhodey. Scrody. He kills the Skrull that's been pretending to be Rhodey this whole time. And we're like, that's the big moment for Nick Fury. Like, he doesn't get the actually answer for his crimes. Well, not crimes, but he doesn't have to answer for his actual mistakes that he made. Like, he did make a mistake. You know? It's like, I don't know, man. It's the state of Marvel right now. I mean, between Secret Invasion, between She-Hulk, between Thor Love and Thunder with freaking what's his face and his screaming goats. Who directed Thor Love and Thunder? I'm bad with names right now. Like Taika Waititi. Taika and his screaming goats in that movie. It just, they need to. So a lot of the decision making happening in Marvel was due to Bob Chapek and Bob Chapek's leadership. He's the one who pulled the trigger on all the Disney Plus shows. He's the one who's pushing streaming, right? What he needs to do, what Bob Iger needs to do now is limit the shows. Like, no more 3-4 shows a year. Let's do 2 shows max. Matter of fact, one show max a year. One show, just one, and like 2 movies. So that's 3 Marvel projects per year. 2 movies, 1 show. Keep the quantity down and keep the quality up. Kevin Feige is stretched too thin and is not producing results. It is not. And I'm surprised I'm saying this because I typically am a supporter of all Marvel, but I mean, like you guys know me on the channel, I keep it 100. Enough is enough. The bad writing, pay your writers. That's another thing. We're freaking the writer strike right now. Stop hiring these cheap ass writers they picked up from these random places and start hiring big name quality writers to come in and do your shit. Okay, stop being cheap and start paying the writers to actually come in here and do a job. They keep going after these random ass writers from freaking television shows that haven't never wrote a movie in their life, and they're trusting the MCU to these writers. Like for example, the guy who wrote Ant-Man Quantumania was a freaking. He's a what's the show he wrote on? Animation, time travel, Animation Council of. Why am I so bad with names right now? What's the name of the show? Animated show, time travel. It's on the tip of my tongue. Someone help me out. What's the name of the show? Oh my god, I cannot believe him. I can't remember the freaking show name. Oh my god, it's gonna bother me. So annoying. Ant-Man, No Lost Quantumania. Writer. Rick and Morty. Jesus Christ. Yes. Rick and Morty writer. That's so annoying. So they bring in, hey, what's up, Matthew Griffin? What's up? I think that was bad too. They criticized Fury, but they never made him actually explain himself. They even have him marry a Skrull in the meantime, but somehow never got around to finding them a home. Yeah, it just doesn't make answer the questions. Why exactly did they had Gaia? And it's so stupid. Gaia answers some questions that we want Nick Fury to answer. Gaia posing as Nick Fury answers some questions in the end, but that's not Nick Fury. So what are we supposed to believe? That he told Gaia to say those things to Gravik is just stupid. They should have found a way. First of all, the Skrull fight was stupid in the end. They shouldn't have had that Skrull fight. Why did Gaia allow Gravik to get the powers? So she both of them got the power and they both fought. But why even do that? Why not kill him before that? It's just stupid. Like, why give him the Skrull power? I don't understand why they gave him the super Skrull powers. Like, I don't know. I don't understand that. You could have fought him before that. You could have just shot him. You could do something. You didn't have to actually. Was the implication that she needed the super Skrull powers to all the power from the Avengers? She needed that to kill him. Whatever. I mean, I don't. It's not great. Not the best. Not the best. Honestly, I think Marvel is gonna be in some trouble. In terms of financially and box office results, this entire until the next Avengers movie comes out, I think they're gonna be in trouble. Maybe Spider-Man will do well. Maybe, yeah. I'm not thinking any of these movies are gonna do great. They're gonna. Freaking what was it? Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did well. So I mean, it's just the IP. If the IP is strong, it'll do well. But I'm not feeling good about the Marvels in terms of box office. I think the movie looks fine. It looks kind of samey. The villain for the Marvels that looks kind of boring. But hey, the Guardians of the Galaxy villain, the first movie, Ronan, he's boring, you know. So, I mean, that's fine. As long as the story is good, as long as the character interactions are fun, it'll be fine. It doesn't need a good villain. But, yeah, man, the Marvel right now, it's scaring me. It was a stupid plan. Gravik could have easily killed her since he has all the same powers as he did. Yeah, it could have happened. You're right. there was no way. You're right. What if he lost? I mean, what if he won? What if he won? They both had the powers. They both fought. The gamble is okay. You'll get the power. He'll get the power and win, hopefully. And if you don't, we're fucked. Like, that was the plan. The writing is just stupid. I can't defend it. It's just bad. Like, and it was a short episode too. Like, and then so it ends with. Actually, what's funny is the end of Secret Invasion is actually interesting. Like the setup for the end, how human beings now know about the scrolls, and they're out there like vigilantes are out there killing folks and killing people that think are scrolls, and sometimes they're wrong. So they're killing innocent people, thinking they're scrolls because the president went out there and said all scrolls will be killed, and we're taking out all the scrolls. So now people are out there just paranoid, not knowing who's who. That's interesting. That's the story they should have told. The way the show ends and the MCU going forward is interesting. That's what they should have focused on. That's what the show should have been. They should have revealed that scrolls were real to the world and have this paranoia across the entire world. That's how the show ends. Like the last 5 minutes of Secret Invasion are the most interesting. The last 5 minutes. It's just, I don't understand the writing decisions here. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I'm nervous. I'm not nervous about. I think the Marvels will be fine. I think it'll be what it is. It is what it is. It looks fun. Nothing too consequential. Nothing too massive or monumental there. It'll just be like a fun show, a fun movie that will hit or miss for folks. I think Loki 2, I think that'll be good. I'm hearing from people that Loki 2 is good. I think it looks good. I'm not worried about Loki 2. What's the other show? There's a show that's dropping all at once that we just know it's bad because they're dropping it all at once. Or we think they think it's bad for what is it? Echo. They're dropping all episodes of Echo at once, which is great because we get to binge watch it. But they're doing that because they don't think it can survive a weekly binge formula, which is interesting. Is it because the writing is so bad? They're like, we'll just drop it all at once, or is it better absorbed as a binge? I doubt it's the latter. It's probably because it's so they don't trust it. They don't believe in it. So they're dropping all of Echo at once. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. It really is. So that is my. I got a lot more to say about Marvel, but we'll leave it there for Marvel. So I've talked about Skull Island. I've talked about Marvel. Let's see. Last but not least, let's talk about Ruby. Let's talk about Ruby, Rooster Teeth, and this conversation about RVB. I'm not quite sure why people are so upset about RVB getting another season, but Ruby not getting another season right now. There seem to be a lot of people who are upset that Ruby Volume 10 was not greenlit, but RVB was. And my response to that is RVB is not dependent on Crunchyroll giving the go-ahead. RVB can be done without Crunchyroll's approval and request, and without Warner Brothers freaking. It's a much cheaper show. Cheaper. It's just I don't understand why people are so upset. Like, I wasn't surprised one bit when I found out that RVB was greenlit by Rooster Teeth, but they're waiting on Crunchyroll's to say something about Volume 10. Crunchyroll's got to sit down and have a meeting and say, hey guys, so Ruby Volume 10, do you want to put forth the money for that? Because from what I understand, Carey and the company are waiting to see if Crunchyroll wants to play. And by play, if they want to put down some money, I have to assume they have to put forth some money, because I don't understand what else to be waiting for. Because if the conversation is about Crunchyroll, they have to see the numbers and see how many people subscribed because of Ruby, how many people watched Ruby, and if they're taking this long, something tells me there wasn't that many people. If Ruby was a big go-getter for Crunchyroll, if a lot of people were watching Ruby on their service and it was evident the traffic was high for Ruby, they would have greenlit Volume 10 by now. They haven't done it yet because they have to go crunch the numbers and reevaluate and see. Like, I don't understand what they're so surprised about. Like, RVB was greenlit, but Ruby wasn't. Like, yeah, of course Ruby wasn't. Like, Ruby Volume 9 was a 10-episode show of season. It barely came out. They fired all the animators. Well, they let them go. They didn't renew all the animators. And now they're waiting to see if the show is worth producing, because Crunchyroll has to make that decision. If Crunchyroll is getting the exclusive, if they're paying for the exclusive, then the Crunchyroll is paying Rooster Teeth money. So Crunchyroll needs to see if Volume 10 is worth their investment. Did Volume 9 get enough subscribers? Did it have enough activity? Did it garner enough buzz for us to invest more cash into the Ruby cow? And I'm sorry, I wouldn't be surprised if Crunchyroll said, nah, we're good. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. So we may be in a long one, folks. We may be in for a long one. I would not be surprised if by the end of the year, Ruby Volume 10 was still not greenlit. I would not be surprised one bit. I would not be surprised. In fact, I'm almost sure that by the time we get to November-ish, Volume 10 will still not be greenlit. And if that's the case, I don't know what to tell you. You may be in trouble. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It's going to be tough. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for the Ruby fans because Volume 10, I think ultimately it will be greenlit eventually, just not anytime soon. I think we will get a Volume 10 somehow, some way. I just don't think it'll be anytime soon. Ruby is so boring. Someone needs to buy the IP and remake it. Here's the thing, though. AM Beast, who's gonna invest the money to buy Rooster Teeth? And not Disney, not a big studio. So who's gonna buy the IP? And would Rooster Teeth sell? Well, not Rooster Teeth. Would Warner Brothers sell the IP? I don't think there's gonna be any buyers for Ruby, honestly. I think Ruby is something that that exists in a small little community. I mean, I can see. Let me see who. Let me see Crunchyroll. Let's see something real quick. I'm curious about good old Crunchyroll. I'm curious. Give me a second. Let's see. I don't think Crunchyroll or Sony Pictures or anything like that. I don't see it. I don't see Crunchyroll. I definitely don't see Crunchyroll buying Ruby. I don't see it. If they're not even willing to greenlit Volume 10 now, what would make you think Crunchyroll is going to buy Ruby? It's not going to happen. I don't see anyone buying that IP. I think they'll stick with Rooster Teeth. And I believe if we get volume 10, it will be those same writers we're used to, Carrie, Miles, and the crew. I actually think that AMB. I actually think that there needs to be some studio that invests in Western animation for like adult content. Like if there was a studio that invested a lot, I think there's a lot of money to be made in animation over here in the States that focus on adult content that kind of challenges anime. Like the money that like everyone loves it. Like there's a big anime community here in the States, right? A lot of people over here in Western culture loves anime. If a studio took the influence of anime, kind of like more things like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or stuff like that. If they took more shows like that and they really put a lot of money into it, and they put out a lot of different shows, I think they can grab a lot of that market that folks are dying for here in America. Like all those anime fans in here, if you target those folks and give them content adult content that's good, action packed, with a lot of different characters and stuff like that, storylines, I think there's a big opening for folks who want to get into the adult animation here in the United States. And I don't think anyone's doing it, and it's crazy. Like Arcane, yeah, like Arcane, things like Arcane, things like Castlevania. I don't know what Castlevania is a Western or not. I don't know who made Castlevania, but things like Arcane, things like Avatar: The Last Airbender, investing in things like that and targeting the market here in America that loves anime, there is a lot of money to be made. But I don't see, because typically when you see adult animation in America, it is either comedy, like the god awful Velma, all right, Velma, or some other type of whatever animation. Like all the adult animation, is usually comedy, and it will be funny, and it's edgy, and it's raunchy, and it's supposed to be funny, right? If they took all that energy and put it toward serious adult action animation, there's money to be made. There's a lot of money to be made. If you took all of the people who enjoy their Star Wars animation, the people who love their Arcane, the people who love their the Avatar: The Last Airbender, took all those people and put them in a room and said, would you want to see Western animation, serious animation with good storylines, with not all the comedy and the raunchiness, but the actual stories told through animation that were serious? I think everybody's hand were raised, and there's a lot of money to be made there. But I still think in America, animation is seen as something for kids, and until that happens, until that changes, they're just going to keep investing in stuff like even things. Look at Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is Harley Quinn, the animated show for DC. I dropped Harley Quinn after season 2. Why? Well, it was well done show, well written show, well done, well animated. I dropped it because I grew up on Batman the Animated Series. So I grew up on that show and that style of show and that Harley Quinn. And not to say this Harley Quinn was bad, it was very apparent that the overarching storyline of that show was the relationship status of Harley Quinn. Was she dating Joker, or was she dating Poison Ivy? That was the only thing that mattered. Everything around it, they can pretend that it's stakes. They can pretend that it's serious. They can pretend that it's relevant, but it's not. The only thing relevant in that entire show is her relationship status. Is she dating the Joker? Is she not? Is she single? And then is she dating Poison Ivy? That's the only thing that matters. Everything else around it does not matter. Once I came to that realization, and I realized there was no real stakes in the show beyond her relationship status, who was she dating, I kind of fell out of the show. Because if I'm going to sit down and watch a bunch of animation, gotta give me more than relationship status, and that's what that show was about, really. Maybe season 3 changed, I don't know, but Harley Quinn, from what I was watching, seemed to me that the goal was to like tell a story of Harley Quinn finding herself and how that relates to her relationships with the Joker and Poison Ivy and the fact that she's bisexual, and that's the storyline. And that's the only thing that mattered. Now, if it was that and like, there's actual stakes within the show and things actually matter beyond that, then cool. But it was clearly not that. It was clearly the relationship status of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and how they came together. And that was what it was. But I'm not going to spend that much time watching a show if the only real stakes is that. Especially me, who I don't really watch that much comedy. So it's got to be the funniest thing in the world for me to watch it. Like I like comedy, I'll watch it, but I don't invest time to watch it. If I'm watching something that I watched back in the day when I was younger, and it's funny, I'll put it on. Oh, it's funny, yeah, ha ha ha. But I'm not watching anything new, investing time into something that's new, that's a comedy. These days, I just don't. I'm so far behind on everything else. I don't have time to watch comedies. I don't. So Harley Quinn. So if we took all that energy you put towards Harley Quinn and the Velmas and the Archers and all the other animated adult content with that, with the curse words and the raunchiness and the funny, ha ha, took all that and invested it in actual serious adult content similar to anime, but Western. So some of the sensibilities of anime and animation over in Japan that are kind of ridiculous, that wouldn't fly here in America, like a character getting a power out of nowhere that they didn't actually explain. That happens all the time in anime, or all the internal dialogue that happens in anime. You don't have to freaking replicate anime, but you take that the audience that love that here in America and you target them with Western serious animation like Arcane, like the Last Airbender, like things of that nature. You can make a lot of money, but I don't see that happening anytime soon because the culture here in America is animation is for kids, and that is where we're at. Like, can you imagine a show like Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, that animation style, a television show, serious, good characters, good voice acting, a good storyline, not all the comedy, ha ha, but real actual storytelling. You can make. I think that would be streaming would do well. It'd do well in streaming. Crunchyroll could pick it up. Like Ruby, but better. Ruby with better writing and better storytelling and better settings and better animation. Like actual animated shows that were good, that didn't necessarily target the kids or didn't necessarily target comedy. I think it'd be very good. What is happening right now? My sister called me 3 times. So. Okay. So apparently I need to go somewhere. All right. How long is the stream going? How long is the stream? Almost an hour. I will hang out for 5 minutes if anyone has any questions, and then I'm going to hop out here. But thanks for those who joined the stream. Let's see. Next time I do this stream, which will probably be often because as you can see, I am now using StreamYards. So if I'm using StreamYards, I can do this, right? Which is what I always wanted to do with streams. So now I'm going to be doing streams more often, but I have to plan ahead because these last minute streams I've been doing the last few times, it's coming out of nowhere and people don't know. And then they come back and say, hey, Vex, I didn't know you have a stream. I didn't know either. It was last minute. So I need to do a better job of playing ahead and actually setting this up so that maybe even a day ahead of time. We will see. That's what I'll be doing next time. And I will probably take the audio from this stream and make shorter videos to upload, but we'll see. Depending on how the audio came out, depending on if I said anything intelligent, I'll take the audio from this stream and use it for shorter content as well. So you'll be getting more streams from me in this channel. All right, guys. That is it for the stream. 3 o'clock at the sharp. My sisters called me again. I should probably head out now. Thanks for those of you who came in and wished me happy birthday. Appreciate that. I will talk to you guys